lefties when they start attacking Christians and churches, and that is precisely what we saw in the streets of Minneapolis yesterday as Christian activist Jake Lang was ripped limb from limb, stabbed in the head and the side, stabbed in the face, bleeding profusely. Jake Lang barely escaped with his life as the left-wing mob tried to murder him for simply protesting against Islam. That is now apparently illegal in Little Mogadishu of Minneapolis. Of course, where were the police? Nowhere to be found. This is a violation of the man's First Amendment rights, and it's why we're in favor of Trump sending in the troops as Trump readies potentially military deployments given the Insurrection Act and Americans having their rights stolen from them, like the right to assemble and worship freely. Get ready, they're attacking churches now. You are going to be horrified, but unfortunately not surprised, because this is the next thing they were obviously going to do. ICE director saying, in my 30 years of law enforcement, I never thought I would send in law enforcement to protect law enforcement. But the Minneapolis police have been ordered to not interfere with the left-wing mob of zealots and animals that are tearing through the city and trying to murder people, and specifically Christians. And that is precisely what is happening right now in Minneapolis. This is a church service in Minneapolis where left-wing orcs stormed in and simply started attacking Christians. Let's go ahead and have a listen here. So they're just storming a Baptist church in Minneapolis after alleging that one of the pastors is an ICE agent. Don Lemon, by the way, is with him, the former CNN primetime anchor, now totally and wholly disgraced. Handy rule of thumb, if you're storming the house of God, you're not the good guys. In fact, you're a criminal. You're in violation of the FACE Act. This is threatening churchgoers is a federal crime. Center for Baptist Leadership reports indicate that the siege of a church by these evil protesters is still going on. Pray for peace. These lawless leftists would be swiftly dealt with. Protesters have occupied the church of St. Paul, where they say one of the pastors works with ICE. There are various live streams of this, and they are walking up to Christians, screaming at him. Don Lemon going to prison for violating the FACE Act, and you're black pilling. Let's go ahead.
What do you think of
listen to Don Lemon interviewing the pastor of this church as he led a left-wing orc mob into this sanctuary to try and attack Christians.
What do you think of this?
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, we live in there's a constitution and the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities.
There's also freedom of religion, you dumb bastard. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, what? Have you ever read the First Amendment? Do you realize that, like, freedom of faith, freedom of worship, freedom of religion is there in the First Amendment? And you're violating these people's freedom of religion. They're trying to worship peacefully. You're violating it by going and attacking them. Do you understand that? Do you get that? No.
That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here. Okay, that's why we're here. That's what we're about.
Do you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a
no
Christian?
one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I ask that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to chronicle what happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, got it. I'm telling you, man. This is a great example.
He says he's a Christian, but you're attacking somebody on church ground, on the ground of holiness. You're attacking somebody. You ain't no fucking Christian. I swear to God, this damn idiot news anchor here ain't no Christian. You're a damn Satanist, an atheist. You attacking somebody on church ground. Ground that is sacred. And you attacking somebody on it. Don't swing that way. Don't go that way. I hope and pray somebody get your ass and beat you to the inch of your life and make you beg for mercy. Because only God can give it. Because you haven't deserved of God mercy from earth. Back to the video.
Example of what this is Don Lemon's version of church right here. The left-wing mob trying to murder someone. This is Don Lemon's version of church here. Look at this. You're really great person. This is what they're doing. This is what, by the way, this is illegal. This is a violation of federal law. But look at this rabid, bearded sociopath going through and screaming at these Christians.
All these pretend Christians, all these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're living real life, nice lives with your lattes, doing absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters. You come here to a man wearing a suit. Is a preacher? Did Jesus wear a suit? Did Jesus profit off the word? No. Jesus would die and then not touch me. Touch me again and see what happens. You are a fake Christian. Why are you not standing with your Somali and Latino communities? Why do I not see you out at Whipple every day protesting this attack on humanity? Where are you? You're sinners. You're pretending to be Christians. But we know you live an easy life, don't you? A very easy life while people are starving.
These people are literal demons. This is what Don Lemon is bringing into the church under the guise of First Amendment. You said, don't they have a First Amendment? Wouldn't Jesus be in favor of this? Jesus would be in favor of attacking all the white people in the church and screaming at them. It looks like they also obviously they have black parishioners. Just shut up. The whole thing is stupid. The whole thing is stupid. It is indefensible what they've done. Now they are attacking church goers, Christians, and kids at the church. This is what the left is. This is why they got to send in the troops. You got to do it. Don Lemon is storming churches and harassing pastors. What a pathetic man. Disrupt, make them uncomfortable, says Don Lemon. Don Lemon needs to be charged immediately. Anti-ICE mob stormed church in Minneapolis. They have to shut down the service. Don Lemon leading the charge. Failed CNN hack. Don Lemon attacks church. What a national embarrassment. He is effing nuts. This goes way beyond sane behavior. These people, it's always in the eyes. You can just tell. They're just demons. Don Lemon captures anti-ICE protesters confronting Minneapolis. He didn't capture anything. Don Lemon instigated this, obviously. You can see it. Rioters storm church with Don Lemon leading the charge. Don Lemon should be prosecuted under 18 U.S.C. 247, damage to religious property, obstruction of persons, free exercise of religious beliefs. That's exactly right. This is precisely what they've done here. Storming a church to sit there and attack people who are trying to worship Jesus. Bolsheviks raided churches too. Arrest Don Lemon for FACE Act violation. Harmy Dillon is somebody who could do it. She says she's on the case, is investigating the potential violation of the FACE Act for these people, desecrating how to worship and interfering with Christian worshipers. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in a lot of churches that I don't like. Here's the FACE Act, by the way. This is exactly what exactly the letter of the law says. You're not allowed to attack churchgoers, right, in their place of worship. By the way, this pastor, extremely based. Figure out who this guy is and support him. But yeah, this is what they did. This is a violation of federal law, and they need to prosecute now. I just can't tell you how enraged I am watching this. It makes me very, very angry. And the use of Christ, the use of the First Amendment, the low IQ, the smooth brain, like the fact that this guy was on CNN for so many years and was in corporate media for like 20 years. This is the kind of person that they were promoting. This was the kind of person that CNN was beaming into everyone's home at night. Sick. The media. You don't hate the media enough, man. It says in Romans that the government must wield the sword for the protection of good men and for the terror of evil men. And so these evil people, I hope, in fact, that they get prosecuted. That would be the righteous use of the government in this instance. Very sorry that this happened to you. If this was your church, we're rooting for you and standing with you. It sucks. Do our best to make sure that they're prosecuted. Nobody should have to work